the Iron Pike, where you hired 3 villagers to bring you in a canoe, or 3 canoes actually, to the Ferry Graves, where you expect the Redlander caravan that is missing, to find them there. And Kozue definitely had a vision about the leader of the caravan being trapped somewhere, and Austin's, your marksman, and Nida, the other marksman, they have spotted these gigantic gelatinous cubes. So you were assuming that maybe being trapped mean that the caravan is somehow trapped inside these cuboids. And when you arrived at the shores of the Ferry Graves, I think Altan was attacked by an electric snake that he discharged. Is that discarded? Yeah, then you met the demon, and on the way, I think you checked out 3 of these gelatinous cubes, and you knew that inside, inside there were like a diesel walker and an auto wagon, but you had the feeling that they were not salvageable, so you didn't try. And when we start today's session, the trees around you are still burning from Nida's prismatic gun. The animals have left, and there is now the evening is falling over the Ferry Graves, and we just lost 8. So it's still light enough because of the fires, but soon it will be too dark to travel far. What do you do? Stephen, you're muted.
Hard to know what a suitable place is. Hard to know what a suitable place is to camp, but we should find one. Maybe someplace with height.
Mm-hmm.
Cubes don't seem to like to climb.
Well, you remember that Nida has seen some kind of Ferris wheel deeper into the Ferry Graves, like it was some kind of is it called Ferris wheel? Like this big wheel, a fun fair. But that might be still like, and you can't see it from where you are now.
That would certainly work to keep us out of the way of any cubes that might come by during the night.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with the cubes is that they're, I don't know, they're probably going to be all but silent and invisible until they're practically on us, even though they don't move very fast. And fleeing from them in poor illumination strikes me as a recipe for disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So if we can make that fairgrounds before it gets too dark.
Are you going to be up for a bit of climbing, Causeway? I know that. I'm sure that scaling large objects is not a general part of priestly training.
It isn't, but I do live on the mountains, and so I'm not a stranger. I don't know. Maybe it will be too difficult to climb, but nothing lost by trying.
So how do you try to find the way to the Ferris wheel? You can't see it from where you are now. So there's like a slight electric smog over the bog. It is twilight, and probably the trees are also blocking your view.
If Nida doesn't have a good idea of where it is.
It seems to be west. Like she told you that she had spotted it deeper into the coast. You're muted, Steve.
Well, then west. I mean, if there's, again, you know. This is
Oh, yeah. I was just checking what was actually in my excavator's kit. Not a lantern, surprisingly.
Does Kazooie have some kind of light source?
I have a lantern, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of lantern is it?
You mean what's its light source?
Yes. Is it like there's these UV lanterns, there are iron lanterns?
Oh, I'm sorry, what that kind? I wrote it down. I didn't. It just said lamp.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I think probably, given our starting gold, you'd not buy the solar lamp, which is like 100 cost. I think probably it's the iron lamp.
Yes.
Yes, and then it would be just a good old-fashioned oil, which is also good to know, because you could burn something. Yeah, what you could do is, obviously, you could just move west and hope for the best. You could try to find like some kind of elevation to take a look.
Yes, I mean, if there's any...
You do see... Go on.
If there's any sort of height, you know, near here where we can possibly get a better look, then that's the...
I think the best bet would be these...
who can climb? Dalton, can you climb?
Well, I can climb. I mean, if you're looking for it, Causeway, I mean, I am 6 feet tall. You could always jump up onto my shoulders, perhaps.
No, I was thinking, can you climb one of these trees?
Oh, yes, that makes more sense.
You just get away from the ones that are still smoldering. And if you can climb to the top of one of these trees, you ought to be able to have a good enough view.
All right, I can try to clamber up there.
Unless you're better at it, because you have a scope.
I think that, we just have to assume, like always, that if a player doesn't make it to the session, the character also magically disappears into the background.
Oh, it is...
Puckett can't make it today.
I thought Abe was here. No.
Abe is here. Abe is here. He's just starting.
I said Azure.
Oh, Azure, sorry. I think Altan, being obviously very dexterous in climbing things, gets up on the next tree that is not burning. And you can see, indeed, a bit to the southwest, there are a couple of structures, the Ferris wheel being the biggest one. But in the background behind it, you can see there's what looks like the roof of what modern people would call a motel, some kind of like architectural building from the long ago, or even long ago. And then there's something big next to the Ferris wheel, which is it doesn't seem to have like a discernible shape. You would assume that it is maybe some kind of gigantic statue.
Yeah, I can see a wheel from here. I don't know if it's made of iron though. Well,
it's still standing.
But there looks to be a larger building over there, over yonder, as well as maybe a giant. I think probably a giant.
So you make your way to in the direction of the Ferris wheel. and you pass another one of these gigantic cubes on your way. Let's check what happens. And it is one of these really, really big ones. It's hundreds of meters. It's actually so big that you can't really see the whole extent of what is inside, but you can spot that there are several vehicles inside. While it is getting dark.
Several vehicles. I don't know what the kind of vehicles we'd be looking for. I mean, this is a Duke's train, basically.
Well, inside these this gelatinous cube is definitely like a ferry that has stranded. You can make that out. There is an auto wagon which seems to have cabins bolted on to the side, and there are two, at least two of these walkers.
Wow.
Didn't your friend say something about needing a power thingamajig from a ferry?
Yeah, she needs a battery, and I guess that one would have something. But you know, how would we get it out? I mean, even if this thing is entirely passive, which I'm not sure it is, we need shovels on a lot of people.
I tried throwing a rock into it just to see.
So the rock actually surprisingly enters the permeable skin of the cube pretty easily, and is then slowed down by the whatever the jelly is inside, and then it's just stuck. You can see that there's like what is it called? A pseudopod, I think, that is slowly emerging from the cuboid in the direction of the thrown rock.
What is the reaction to this thing have to fire, I wonder?
One way to find out.
I'll cut a torch. Break off a burning branch, and move it towards the cube.
So when you get closer, there's no immediate direction. Do you try to touch the outer skin?
Yes.
Then there is a shudder goes through the body. You can see that you actually burned a chunk out of the skin, and there are two pseudopods now trying to reach you, relatively slowly though.
Well, we certainly can't fight this thing, but fire bothers it, which is good to know for later. Let's just leave. I don't see how we're going to get anything out of this without a massed effort, or maybe that prismatic gun, but
if only that demon were here.
I mean, we have witches who can probably conjure a demon if need be.
Set a nice healthy blaze.
I'm more of a psychic than a witch. I mean, I'm a witch, but I'm not a summoner.
So what do you do? Abe, you missed that Altan has spotted a Ferris wheel and something that looks like a motel building, and also a big statue to the northwest. Sorry, to the southwest.
I described it as a as an inert giant.
Mm-hmm. And then there's also, you're standing in front. You on the way to the Ferris wheel. You pass one of these gigantic gelatinous cubes, and inside of the this one is an auto wagon with bolted-on cabins, 2 walkers, and what else did I say? And a ferry.
Threw a rock into it.
Right, I got that part, and then
Okay.
And then Kozu burnt it with the torch.
Yeah, so if you have anything else you want to poke it with, like, feel free, because we're trying to get the party killed right now.
Well,
yes, please.
It's the ferry that's the most interesting thing here, and not being entirely ignorant of these things.
My computer fucked up. My computer
priority
shit in the bed. So.
What did you say, Abe?
Oh, my computer is shitting the bed, so I have to switch to my iPad, which isn't particularly is not particularly the best to do all this with. So I'm going to be moving slow.
That's okay. So what is the rest doing, Altan and Kozue?
I think we need to get to safety first and contemplate this later.
So in the twilight of the waning of the disappearing day.
And I should ask, was the motel was the motel tall, or was it like more one of those like roadside motels?
It was more, yeah. I know what you mean. I think it's 2 stories, and from the shape, you would assume that it has some kind of inner court.
All right.
So
yeah, I'm going to add to torture the cube with.
Yeah, so you leave the cube be for the time being, at least. When you stand a couple of minutes later, maybe half an hour later, in front of the Ferris wheel, it is actually dark and only illuminated by Kozu's lantern. You can see that it is some kind of funfair that is half sunken into the bog, covered in wild growth and slimes and molds. There is probably some kind of it looks like a wooden what's it called? A wooden what's the word? With loopings and stuff.
Roller coaster.
A roller coaster, but time hasn't been kind to the construction. There's what looks like an old, maybe tool shed or shack, and then there's the motel, and next to the motel there is what looks like an maybe paper mache dinosaur that Altan thought was a giant.
What an impractical set of homes, I say, looking at the Ferris wheel. Do you suppose it was some sort of ancient race of bird people that lived in them?
I can't say. It may have had a religious function. It looks vaguely mechanical. Maybe it's a machine for generating wind.
I think it's an ancient torture device.
Why would you say that?
Well, it seems that they have those boxes that would look big enough to hold people, and it's in the middle of this swamp, so maybe they just dunk, like the thing looks like it's a wheel, so maybe it turns around and dunks the people into the swamp as some sort of like, you know, to make them comply with I don't know, some sort of draconian governmental church type.
Well, yeah. Well, anyway, as we're talking, Alton's pulling out his rope and tackle and says, "Well, I think I can climb up to one of the higher ones. Set up a rope system, and maybe we can get which of you thinks that which of you is I kind of like move and like pick up Azure, then pick up Causeway, which is the lighter one of the two."
Definitely Causeway, yeah.
Yeah, I'm Diesel. You know, I'm ripped. So
okay, yeah, I think maybe Azure, you can go up first, and then we'll pull up Causeway last.
All right. I mean, I could do what, like in the army when the people pull themselves up the rope by like, I can pull myself up. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm so Diesel. So.
All right then. So yeah, Alton goes up to set up this.
As Azure.
Oh, no, go ahead. You were going to say something?
So there are these cabins. Yeah, I have terrible lag. I will switch off my cam first. Can you hear me, guys?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So as Azure pointed out, there are these cabins, and Altam can definitely climb up to one of the cabins. You can attach a rope there and pull Causeway up, and I think Azure is fit enough to climb up the rope hand over hand. And inside of the cabin, it's enough space for the three of you to lay down your bedroll. And the other two, Austin's and Babeth, they climb into another of these cabins. How do you how do you spend the night? Is somebody, are you setting watches, or do you hope that the height will protect you?
I think we're mostly counting on the height to protect us, and
also
we're in a place where we easily hear any strange noises that come close.
Mm-hmm.
Am I still jacked on the golden amber?
Yes.
I can stay up all night then. I'm happy to hang out and shoot stuff if I need to.
So do we get like a Walton's type good night, everybody? Are you talking a little bit? How do you make yourself comfortable in the cabin?
Causeway prays every night.
Mm-hmm.
She takes out an icon that represents the moon, the near moon. And she sits down and lights up the candle and prays.
Yeah, Alton is struggling around because he is way too tall for this cabin. And I think eventually he kind of is able to like scrunch up in a way where his shoulders are kind of wedged up against one seat and his feet are sticking up into the opposite seat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Azure is actually planning to stay up all night?
Yeah.
Cool. So you do like when your gaze like wanders around, you see two things that are a bit weird. So one thing is you can see the shack that I described. It looks not really like special in any way. It's just an old wooden shack, but something about it bothers you, as if if it is a computer game, it has slightly lower resolution than the rest of the environment. And then the second thing you realize is that the dinosaur you see is actually slightly moving the whole time. It has these tiny arms that move, and sometimes it's more opens and closes.
But it doesn't walk around or anything, right?
It doesn't walk around. There seems to be some kind of animatronic device inside.
Now, was that happening before?
Not that. If you try to remember, it didn't.
All right, and then so we've got a Minecraft shack, right? We've got the dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
The dinosaurs become somewhat animated. Is there anything else happening?
Other than that, let me think. Well, I mean, you are a little bit on watch. You can definitely see that once in a while there's one of these translucent crocodiles crossing a path, but they're really difficult to spot. And so after a couple of hours, instead of a dawn, there's this weird purple light that seems to emanate from the ground. Azure is obviously, all of you are familiar with that. That glow indicates the dawn, but it will stay in this weird purple light until noon, before the sun actually breaks through the purple glow.
Is that everywhere or just here?
No, that is everywhere. That is that is part of the ultraviolet grasslands. The further west you travel, the longer these glows stay. So when you left the Violet City, for example, the glow was in the air until I think 9:30 or something, and now it's at noon where you can actually see properly. So, do you wake up your comrades?
Yeah. First, I'll go to Alton, and I'll I'll give him a jostle, and they say, I think there's something weird going on outside. Do you want to come and check it out?
What was it? Was it?
There's some weirdness going on outside, and to be honest, I've been up for a few days, so I can't tell if it's really happening or if I'm just bugging out. Can you come take a look at this? I'll point out the things that I think are weird.
Mm-hmm. And Elton, you feel terrible because of because you were wedged between the seats, and every muscle is aching.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm also like still missing 4 HP, so I was probably feeling pretty terrible before that.
But you do regain 1 HP for the night, and Kazua regains 2.
Yeah.
Alton, you see the same thing that when Azure points it out, you can see that the dinosaur is moving, and you can also see that the shack, there's something odd about it.
And which shack is this?
It looks like it could be a tool shack. It could be because as players we know that this was a fun fair. It could maybe could have been, I don't know, like a place where they sell ice cream or something.
Okay.
Or maybe it was a haunted house.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's also the motel that doesn't look weird, but you could assume that there might be some useful things inside. If you were, oh, go on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, do you want to go down and check it out?
Yeah, but
Who knows? Might be something else trying to kill us. Might have some more fun tonight.
Why not? Let's go check it out. Oh, wait, let me go. And I go and I shake Kazu awake, and say, "We're going. Like, there's something weird going on down there. We're gonna go check it out. Do you want to come with us, or do you want to stay?"
Is it still dark?
It is still dark. It's not the darkness of the night. Kazua knows that it's typical for the ultraviolet grasslands that it stays in this purple glow until noon.
Oh, we might need to borrow your lantern. We'll try to bring it back, but if we don't, we're probably dead. So remember us in ballads.
Wasn't the point of finding a refuge someplace that we could stay until morning? Why are you so eager to leave it? Is something then something
Well,
that's not
there's a
really
strange
happening?
glow out, you see, and it might be gone by morning.
We've all seen that glow before.
So I think Azure and Altan are climbing down, and Beth and Austin's, your two henchmen, they're climbing down as well.
For goodness sake. As long as there's enough light to see by.
Say it again. Sorry.
As long as there's light enough to see by.
Yes. It's this weird twilight, I would say, and line of sight is definitely reduced, but you can see enough to orient yourself. So what do you want to check out?
I'm thinking probably whatever's closest, probably the shack.
So again, the closer you get, the more you get the feeling that there's something wrong about this. So it does have a door, and it has walls and even windows. And it seems to be made out of wood, but it sticks out somehow. It's as if, I don't know, somebody painted the shack, or as if it's from a different, I don't know, dimension or something. Something make it stick out slightly. So what do you do?
How about will you guys cover me? I'd like to do an oracle to see if I can get anything out of this place.
Sure.
All right. So
All right.
I do me an oracle. What happened?
And your oracle is about what? The shack itself, or more in general, the future? Is it about Hank?
Oh, about it's about the ferry. I mean, not the ferry, the amusement park, just in general.
Let's see. I think what you see is Altan riding a gigantic dinosaur into the gigantic gelatinous cube. But the vision seems to be overwhelming for Azure. Oh, there she is. Did you get the last?
No, I heard Alton going into the riding a dinosaur into.
Yeah, you were just like, that's too terrifying in itself. Disconnecting.
Done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what happened? What is Alton riding the dinosaur into?
The cube.
Oh, the gelatinous cube.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and is it the dinosaur, the animatronic dinosaur that he's riding?
Yeah, it looks in your vision. It looked a lot more convincing, a lot less animatronic, and a lot more actual dinosaur.
All right, I come to and I go, Altan, I don't know how to tell you this, but I see you riding a dinosaur into one of these cubes, and it's that dinosaur, but it's a little shaky. I'm not sure. In my mind, it looked more like a real dinosaur. However, sometimes my oracles are a little broad. Like they're painted with broad strokes, so maybe it's just an effect of that, because I don't see how that thing.
I mean, Alton's running off while you're in the middle of saying this to try to mount the dinosaur. But
the other two, you hear a rumbling inside the shack, and something rumbles inside the hut, and yes, go on.
No, I grab Azure's sleeve and I say, "Run."
Okay, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm. So where do you run to?
Toward in the direction of the dinosaur and
yeah.
Altan and such, and away from this building.
Yeah. While you run away, the door opens as if opened by a ghost or something. But as you're running away, you can't see what's happening behind you. And Eltan, obviously having a head start, you stand at the feet of this gigantic creature. It's easily, I don't know, maybe 20 meters. What is it? 60 feet high. And it does move. It does move its arms. It turns slightly. It opens its maw. So what is Altan doing? Trying to climb up, finding a way inside? You're muted.
yeah, I'm trying to climb up onto it. Once like sitting on its back and like trying to kick its shins like a horse doesn't work. I'll try to climb inside.
It's 20 meters tall. You couldn't reach its shins if you're up.
I mean, just to set the image.
Mm-hmm. So as soon as you cling to the beast, you feel it come alive. So its tail is sweeping over the plane in front of the Ferris wheel, and it makes Kuzu and Azure definitely, be aware of its power, and it does seem to know that you are on its back. It tries to grab you, but it can't reach you because, I mean, at the moment you're probably on a leg. So where do you try to climb to?
I mean, I'm gonna try to climb up a bit onto its like kind of back proper.
Mm-hmm. Let me read the. Give me a second.
Yeah, I can cling onto monsters and even climb it with a successful dexterity roll.
Yes. So I think this is what you have to do, because it starts moving. It actually like stamps its feet. It let go like a roar that shakes the trees around it and even the Ferris wheel. So sticking to the beast will be really difficult.
That's fair. What should I roll then? Just a straight dexterity roll, or
yes, please. And
okay.
It's equal or under.
Okay, and I roll 1 die, but I get to re-roll it, right? Or do I roll 2? Because I do have dexterity as a marked stat.
Okay, cool. Yes, as a wildlander, let us stop for a second, and you tell me, like, why is being a wildlander helping you here? Like, what in your past has hurt you?
Climbing onto large beasts that could easily eat you with 1 bite is just part of a hunting trip for a wildlander.
Mm-hmm. So you do have these gigantic animals or beasts in the wildlands.
Yeah, usually they have more tentacles and mouths, but you know.
Cool. All right, so make the roll with advantage.
Okay. Okay, and that 11 is under.
Cool. Kazue and Azure, you can see that Alton is clinging to the back of the monster and climbing up. But the monster is stomping its feet, and it now is moving vaguely in the direction of the shack. What do you do? So in that
direction?
That means towards us?
Yes.
Yes, get out of its way.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
All right.
And at the same time, try. I mean, and once I feel like I'm not going to get stepped on, I'm going to look and see what is making all the noise from the shack if I can.
Mm-hmm. So is your like strategy, is it more jump out of the way or hide from its side? What are you trying to do? What's your intention?
Well, I don't have the idea that it's really spotted us. I'm more concerned being stepped on by accident.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I think it's not going to be very useful. So getting out of its way.
And Azure?
I'm with Kazuo. The witches are sticking together.
Mm-hmm.
I pull my shotgun from its holster. I saw it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, be firing a toothpicks at it.
It looks really tiny in front of this gigantic creature. Yeah, you get out of the way.
I'm more concerned about the shack.
Oh yeah, well.
I'm assuming that Alton knows what he's doing, and
why would you assume that?
He's a demon hunter, right?
Huh?
I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, so when you get out of the way, Kazue, you can see that something is like inside of the shack. It's difficult to see, but there seem to be like vaguely furniture-sized, almost like teeth that start to grind against each other or on top of each other. But the dinosaur is not really moving towards the shack itself. It moves into the wetlands. Elton, there's something that that gives you the idea, naive that you are, that you could actually steer the beast. What is it?
So this beast is clearly, like, as you said, it came alive, but you meant more like in the it activated sense, or did it actually like turn to? Okay.
No, it's still. Yeah, it
Oh,
still
no,
is
go ahead.
animatronic. It is animatronic on machine in essence.
I think that there's like a kind of what's the word? Like it's disguised as part of as like it's painted over, but it's kind of a mechanical access hatch. That like the outline of it, like you can see the crease of where it opens into it.
So you can see the opening, but it seems to be like the beast itself is infected by something. So sometimes it sneezes, and there's this red like creatures coming out when it sneezes, or there's a shudder going through its body. And the hatch that you see is definitely it's partly rusted, but it's also completely out of shape. It doesn't really fit the hole that it's trying to cover. So how do you try to open it?
I pull out my dagger and try to stab it into the edge of the into the crease and try to jimmy it open, basically.
So you're holding with one arm to the metal frame, and with and obviously you're swinging around because the whole creature is moving. In the meantime, what is Kuzui and Azure doing? Altan is quickly moving away from you.
Faster than we can move, almost certainly. Do we get the impression that something's coming out of the shed, of the building?
You get the impression that the shack itself. Oh, I was gone for a second. You get the impression that the shack itself seems to be some kind of being, rather than something containing something.
I see.
So it's like a mimic or something.
Indeed.
Maybe it's meant to be like a dwelling and people...
Yeah, it's a trap. They go in there and they get chewed up.
You're thinking of... I guess it was woken up when the dinosaur thing came.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's go. Let's get out of
We
here.
can follow after that, but we can't keep up with it. But it's easy to track.
Right.
Yeah, and it cuts like a path through the bog. So Altan, you see,
find that cube. That's what your vision was about, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Altan, you do have to make another dexterity check to not fall off. So if you succeed, you will open up the hatch and still cling to it. Otherwise, you will fall off.
Do I still have advantage here?
Yes.
Okay. Let's roll. See what I get. And yeah, I got a 1.
It's not the best success. The best success is always
you got
but it's good enough. So I think that there's like a panic moment where you think that you're losing your grip, but then you jam your dagger into the hatch, and it does open. And inside is a relatively easy construction with levers and wheels that allows you to steer it, and you can even see through like pretty grimy glass where the monster's actually moving to. So not far from where you are now, there's this there's the gelatinous cube that you have spotted before, with a ferry inside and the auto wagon and the 2 walkers. And I assume that is where you want to move it.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably to there.
There is like there's a lever for the tail movement. There's a lever for or two levers for the claws, and there's one for the maw. Do you just run inside? Do you try to smash it open? Do you like bite something out of it?
Well, I mean, I was gonna try to wave back with the dinosaur to Azure and Causeway.
So you turn around and
yeah,
wave
I go like, I think I've got this.
A dinosaur thumbs up.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I guess I'm gonna try to like tear into it with this dinosaur maw.
Mm-hmm. So you bite into the cuboid, and there's a shudder going through the cube, and 3 or 4 of these pseudopods lash out of the body and try to grab the dinosaur. Do you try to fight it? Do you try to evade it? What's the plan? While Kuzue and Azure are closing in.
What's happening as I bite into it?
So there are these like 3 relatively big pseudopods extend from its body and try to grab the dinosaur.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try to smash my way into it and try to just grab this one of these walkers before it gets a chance to get too much hold on me.
Mm-hmm. So the monster has 2 attacks. It can attack with its tail or attack with a bite. What would it be? You're still muted, Stephen.
I guess probably with the bite. We've already talked about laying into it. Yeah, that way.
So I think this will be just a normal attack move.
Okay.
We don't have to bother about initiative or anything, just to see who beats whom.
Okay. And am I making that roll, or is this dinosaur I'm in? And what am I rolling with then? The against AV?
Yes, attack value against the let's see, the AC of the monster, which is
Oh, whoops! My apologies. I think I accidentally cleared things.
No, my clocks.
Sorry, I'm really sorry.
That's okay. There were 3 clocks. I have them in my mind.
Yeah, I got an 11, which is under my AV.
And over the AC. Okay, so the dinosaur bites a gigantic piece out of the cuboid and severs the pseudopods from it. You said you wanted to grab one of the walkers. Is that true, or did I miss?
Yes. Yeah.
Grab them out.
So let's say in the next round you grab one of the walkers while the cuboid slowly tries to engulf the dinosaur. Remember that it's hundreds of meters wide, so it could easily swallow the dinosaur whole.
Yeah.
You get one of the walkers out. You can place it outside of the cube, and then in the next round, you feel that the feet of the dinosaur are stuck. What do you do?
I mean, I'm gonna try to wrench it out, and if that doesn't work, I'm gonna clamber out to see what's wrong.
You can say it again.
No, I was just offering friendly advice. I can't really do it because we haven't caught up yet.
Yes. You will catch up in the next round. So while you're clambering outside of the out of this small cabin, you can see that in the opening that you have bitten into, where also the auto wagon is, there are three figures climbing out of this bolted on. How to describe it? Like bolted on cabins on the side of the auto wagon, and they're waving to you. When you look down, you can see that the gelatinous cube has engulfed the legs with with pseudopods that wind up around these around your legs, so that if you would try to move, you would probably fall. So Alton, what are you doing?
Yeah, I guess then definitely Alton is climbing out and seeing that Causeway and Azure are approaching. I shout to them, "A bit of fire to the legs down here would be appreciated."
Yes, use the tail. Azure, help me pile some firewood together.
Yeah, I climb back in then, and I'm going to try to swing this tail and whack the pseudopods.
Mm-hmm. All right, so make another attack roll. Azure is helping Kazooie to build a fire.
Yep.
Okay, and that's a 6.
Nice. And so you want to tail swipe the pseudopods away.
Yeah.
All right. And I think that works pretty well. You can make room around the dinosaur, and you see the jelly moving away from the wagging tail. And Kazooie, when the fire is like the firewood is built, what do you do?
Well, toss oil on it, flame it as the fire is building up. I'm going to take out an oil which is orange red in color. It's almost like a dye. And I'm going to pour a little bit into one palm and rub it on both hands so that they're covered with this bright orange oil. And then I'm going to plunge my hands into the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And pull out a fire elemental, and I'll take.
All right, so
damage to do it, of course.
So let's see. This is summon elemental.
Yes.
And we need to determine now the cost of the spell, and it will depend on the size of the fire and the do you want to cause damage? Do you just want to cause heat? Do you direct the fire like a drill that drills a hole into the creature, or is it more like just a flaming aura around you? What do you want to do?
That's the best way to that's the best way to control it. Yes, I'll burst into flame. This is a fiery aura that starts about an inch from my skin in all directions, and its purpose is to drive the thing back.
Okay, so I think
I'm only going to do it damage if it's trying to, if it tries to grab me. But I'm trying to make myself ungrabbable, at least briefly.
Yeah, I understand. So this would be indeed 2 damage. If you want to increase the effect, maybe protect Azure as well, it would be higher.
Well, I'm going to. I actually want to try to create enough of a space that we can rescue these people.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and if the dinosaurs, I mean, you know, basically, you know, free up the dinosaur, since that seems the best way of getting these people out, if they can climb onto it.
Yeah. So for now, I would say it is 2 points of damage to yourself, and you emulate. So you're now covered with this fiery aura. And let's go back to Altan. So Altan, you cleared the space around the dinosaur itself, and you can see that the 3 people that climbed out of the auto wagon are waving and screaming, "Save us! Help! Help!"
Yeah, I guess I swing around the tail to them and shout out, "You're gonna need to climb on, folks."
They seem to be terrified of that creature that you're riding.
I give them a wave.
Yeah, they run towards you, and while they run towards you, you can obviously not use your tail at the moment, and you can see the gelatinous cube closing in on the dinosaur again. Kuzui, you are in flames, and you are just outside of the cube. What do you do?
I'm going to move towards it and force it to give way.
Mm-hmm. And it does. It gives way. It opens up. It moves away from the fire, and if you move inside it, it will start to close behind you. Azure, are you following Kuzui? And Kuzui, do you try to enlarge the space, the fiery space?
If Azure is coming, but I shoot her a look.
I think running into a gelatinous cube, even if I'm hopped up, is probably not a good idea.
Okay.
I'm going to try to get over to the people and usher them to safety, like get them off the tail and get them somewhere safe.
Well, but they are inside the cube.
They are way inside, so you're going to have to come with me.
Oh, the people are still inside the cube?
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, I'm going in.
Okay. Yes, I'll increase it.
If you want to increase the area of effect, that would be a D4. Can you do that? In theory, like if you would roll
on top of the 2, or it's a D4 altogether?
Yeah, no, it's on top of the 2.
Can I do it?
Now, in the sense that if you would roll a 4, would you still live? Because you can't cast magic that is that would kill you theoretically.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Do I have any advantage, or is it a straight D4 roll?
It's a straight D4 roll.
Okay. Got a 1.
Nice. So, so how do you get edge? Is it like you make the fire bigger, and so the jelly has?
When I realize Azure is coming, then I turn and I put my hands out towards the little bonfire we made. And I pull, and that fire snuffs completely out, just with this little tendril of smoke left over, as I have increased the size of the fire elemental that I have around me. And I say, close your eyes when you step in.
Azure?
I close my eyes when I step in, and then I kind of wonder what we're supposed to do.
Oh, then you can open them now.
All right. So yes, I'm like,
Just
okay,
not
what's
going through the elemental. It will dazzle you. You can see in the flames around us that there is a suggestion of eyes.
Like the eyes, like the cube has eyes.
No, like the fire has eyes.
Oh, well, I'm cool with that. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with the people.
Well,
Like,
we're going to.
can I rush ahead?
We're going to get there. We can get there.
Okay.
The elemental, it can't close in on us because it can't abide the fire. So as long as the elemental is up, we can't be entirely engulfed. And I'm keeping it down here on the floor so we can walk.
All right. Sounds good. Let's do it.
So while Kazooie and Azure are moving in, Altan, you can see that one of the people, an older gentleman in like a green. It looks like a mixture between an overall and like a Che Guevara uniform or something, or maybe more like a Mao Zedong uniform. He's moving towards. He's moving back to the auto wagon, whereas the two other two women, also in overalls, they move towards the dinosaur. What do you do?
Sorry, what's coming at me?
So there are three people. There seems to be an older dwarf who's moving back to the auto wagon, and there are two women that move towards the dinosaur, and they're waving their hands.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try to make a run over to them, because have I managed to get the dinosaur's feet free at this point?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
If you can like locally attack the like the jelly. What you can't do is do this like really big sweeping motions, because otherwise you would probably kill the two dwarves that run towards you. So you can hear them scream, and one says, "We have somebody is injured." She says, "Hold on." She says, "Dineke is injured. We need to carry her."
Is she back over in the vehicle? Yes,
she is. And so you meet in the middle of this chaos, and you feel that the walls of the jelly are closing in. Like the room that you have made with the tail is increasingly shrinking.
Yeah.
All 10.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear Kazooie coming.
What are you going to say, Kazooie?
That's a machine, yes? What you're doing? The monster?
Thinking if Alton would acknowledge that this is a machine. Yeah, I think it's something like a machine. Haven't often encountered mounts with straps on their insides.
Use the have it use its tail to sweep a space, and have them climb in using the mouth.
I think that you just said. I think that Horse just said. I didn't really have the room to sweep without hurting the people.
Well, not if they're going to get up on you.
Yeah, I'll try to like lower down the mouth though for them to get in, and then I'll be able to maneuver. I think.
Try that, and we're coming to.
I got one more that's off in the vehicle, apparently.
Yes, we can get it. We can get them. You just have to keep the way open so that you'll be able to get back.
All right.
Concentrate on keeping your beast from becoming mired.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So you're climbing back in, Alton?
Yeah, I'm trying to lower the mouth down to pick these two people up, and then you're gonna get in, then try to get your friend. But I'm gonna need you out. I'm gonna need you somewhere safe first.
Mm-hmm.
So climb on into the mouth.
So
Don't worry, I'm pretty certain this thing doesn't have a digestive system.
mm-hmm. So when you can climb back relatively easy. You can climb back on the thing because as soon as you exited the hatch, it completely stopped moving. And so you don't have to roll or anything. You can easily get into the hatch. In the meantime, the two women positioned themselves so that if you are able to lower the mouth, they can enter. Kuzui and Azure, you can see maybe 20 meters from you is the auto wagon. And next to the auto wagon, Kuzui, is also this pretty big ferry. And on top of the auto wagon, there are these 6 strapped-on cabins. They almost look like cylinders that are attached to the side, like saddlebags on a camel or something. And there's this older dwarf in this representative uniform, and he drags somebody out, another woman. So what do you do?
Asher, can you take her, please?
Yep.
So the dwarf is lowering her down. She seems to have that is a question for Azure. She had been attacked by the cube. What happened to her? What do you see?
What do we see?
Mm-hmm.
She has a faintly blue appearance. I mean, we'll find this out afterwards, but we'll say that the like a pseudopod got in her mouth, like when she was screaming, and it suffocated her. But whatever, something happened at the last minute where it didn't happen, where she didn't die from it. So she needs some kind of, like, I don't know, mouth to mouth or something like that to bring her back around. But she's out.
Okay.
She's
So
blue.
she's unconscious. Okay, she's unconscious and bluish in her face. Okay, so Altan, you can definitely lower the mouth of the dinosaur, but you can also see that the mass of the gelatinous cubes now tries to topple the whole dinosaur, like try to its feet are entangled again, and now it tries to bring it down. What do you do?
I'm gonna try to. Okay, because my mouth now has the folks in it, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna try to wrench, like, the dinosaur over to one side. Like, I'm gonna see if I can rip it free using the dinosaur mech's weight.
So like rip the legs off the pseudopods, I guess.
Yeah.
I think this is more of a strength thing.
Okay.
We're using your strength as a shorthand for the dinosaur strength.
Okay. See here, and that's a 10.
Nice. So while the two dwarfs are in the dinosaur's mouth, you're actually you're able to get free of the grip of the cuboid. back to the auto wagon, though. So the dwarf is lowering the injured person down from the from these cabins, and you do see, which is a little bit seductive for you. You do see the ferry that might have a battery, Kazooie.
I say to the dwarf, "Are there more?"
No, she's the last survivor.
Get on the beast. You can, or come with me. I need your help.
Okay. And Azure, are you? The problem is that if you get away from Kazooie, the jelly will close in.
No,
so
I'm gonna have to guide them back. So, so yeah. So I say to the other dwarf, I say, "Come close to me. Close your eyes as you pass through the flames."
And you can see that the dwarf is steeling himself, makes some kind of ritualistic gesture, and then closes his eyes and steps forward. Now it's getting really, really like claustrophobic in this in the fire aura, because you have the feeling that you have to extend the area, you know, above your capacity a little bit. So you see the fire is flickering. You see the connection you have with the fire that is draining.
I'm running a risk of losing control of the elemental.
Yes.
Which will mean that we will be vulnerable. So I'm going to get us over to where the dinosaur is.
Okay, cool.
Because we have to rescue these people.
And Altan, you can see that there's this fiery column moving towards the dinosaur. What do you do?
I mean, it's not the first time. Like I ran into a fiery column last session.
Where?
What was that?
I said, we're coming. Wait for us.
Causeway, it's you. I was never mind.
No,
was there like a short, sweet memory of a
yeah, you know, I thought it was maybe that for a second, but I mean, I as a player knew that was not, but Alton didn't.
All right, so what do you do?
Yeah, we got someone still in this machine here. Apparently, it's injured, and and I'm gonna need some help getting it out. I think
we're bringing them out.
Okay.
I clear a space or lower your mouth down or whatever is the most expedient.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna lower my mouth down so that they can load this person in.
And when the mouth is opening, you can see the two female dwarves. They extend their hands, but then they see the fiery column and they step back inside. On the
that's just a friend. Don't worry.
I'll Azure.
Yes.
You want to take her inside?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you, sir, you should go as well.
If he needs a leg up or something, I can pull him on because I'm, strong enough to handle both.
I need to make a judgment call. Am I going to have to escape at this point too?
Well, you do feel that you're in danger of losing control of the fire elemental. You also feel, which is a bit weird, you feel your breath getting. You can see all of a sudden inside this fire cone your breath. There's something cold inside of you and something hot outside of you. But I mean, you're a strong witch. Maybe you can fight the ghost and the fire elemental, or maybe you can turn them against each other. I don't know.
Soba's trying to get out again.
Mm-hmm.
Crap.
Maybe this decision is a good point for a quick break. Is that a good idea? A cliffhanger of sorts?
Okay.
Okay, so let's say 10, what's it called? Like in 10 minutes, which is 40. Sorry, let's see. 10 minutes, which is 45.
Sure.
Okay, see you in 10.
Anyone back?
I'm here.
All right, I'll be back. I'm back.
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. So the big decision, Kazooie. What do you do?
The people here are rescued. I'm going to make a try for it.
Nice. So let's start with Altan at the wheel.
So at this point, I can let the elemental collapse down to my size.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I don't have to, and then go from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see, you can feel.
Altan's beast has enough clearance to stomp its way out of this thing.
Yeah, you can feel your control over the elemental strengthen when you decrease the size. So as you're inside of the mouth, you can see that the inside of the mouth has this kind of there are these reddish I don't know, bug-like creatures that
Bug-like?
yeah, like a bug. Now, like a bug, B-U-G.
Insects.
Oh, a bug. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the accent, and it seems to be some kind of mechanical infection. So these bugs, they are not entirely biological in itself. And they have they have infected part of the inside of the mouth. So what do you do? It's also really slippery on the tongue to keep your position.
Is this like is this like garden variety biocorruption?
Could be.
Huh. Let me see.
There are also these stalactites and stalagmites like gigantic teeth, obviously. And there's the gum that is infected, and there's the tongue that you stand on.
Can I ask you a question? What are Voyager supplies? Do you know?
Let's have a look. Items. Tinned meat, travel ale, disinfectant schnapps, novelty items, rough newspapers, socks, gum, and prophylactics.
Nice. That won't help. My Farm Boy's Big Adventure probably has some sort of torch in it or something, right?
The Farm Boy. Let's see.
It does have a pet rodent.
I just read this.
It doesn't really have much useful. That's why it's only
it has a lot of pockets.
Yeah.
Yes.
A pet rodent.
All right.
Standard kit. Yeah.
Right.
Standard kit for someone looking to become a Jedi.
I got my pet capybara here.
No, Puckett isn't here this evening, Brandon.
I think I'm gonna lay the injured person down on the tongue.
Yes.
And I have a Morning Star. I think I'm gonna take a swing at the bugs with it and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can definitely smash a couple of them, and when you squash them, you can definitely see inside is clockwork and gears, and some kind of tissue, like biological tissue. you could try to fend them off, like you could try to swing at them in order to keep them at bay, but there are too many to really kill them all.
Are they coming to attack us or approaching us? Or did I just set them off?
They don't seem to like hone on. They don't seem to attack you. They seem to wander relatively randomly, but there's always a chance that, you know, randomly one would get near you or the injured person or the other two.
I'll just stay on watch, and if anyone gets any of them kind of come near, I'm just going to squash them.
And so, Altan, I think you want to wriggle free again.
Yeah, presumably, yeah.
All right, and so your main idea is to get out of the cube as quick as possible.
Yeah, now that I have everyone loaded up, I'd probably also try to swing my tail a bit to try to make some space.
Awesome. So make an attack roll, please, to move to you know,
okay,
to make space.
Oh, that's a 15.
No, that's not a success. So I think what happens is that when you try to move the tail, you feel that it is stuck. And you can't bite.
Yeah. I think for Alton, getting these people out is more important than, as much as he'd like to have a giant dinosaur mech. I think he lowers the head down and shouts out to them, "All right, folks, I think this is as far as this dinosaur's taken us. I think we're going to have to make a run from here on out."
Mm-hmm. So you can like close the gap between the dinosaur and the outer membrane by lowering the head like in the direction of, like almost like collapsing the dinosaur in the direction of the outer wall.
But will it get there?
But it won't get you out. It would get you like maybe 10 meters. And you would also like make room by just collapsing the dinosaur in one direction.
Yeah.
But you are like when the mouth opens, you can see before you this wall of jelly. So let's get back to Kuzui. Kuzui, you feel that. As I said, you feel your breath. You can see your breath under the aura of fire, and you feel Soba trying to wrestle you for control of the body.
Stop.
How do you try to stop her? She's not answering.
She's still bound by rules.
Mm-hmm.
Soba, you accepted guest right here, and I call on that guest right.
There's an icy silence.
You know, if you violate guest right, that you incur a curse. And it's not my curse, it's the curse of the old rules that set up these customs that we both must follow. If you want that curse to follow you the rest of your days and people to know you as an oath breaker, then go ahead.
Are you commanding her, or is it more
No.
like trying to argue?
No, I am letting her. No, I am making it. I am simply reminding her very clearly of the consequences of her actions, which is, you know, I hope to her is catastrophic. If she remembers anything of what it was like to be a person, then she knows that this is not something that she wants.
Yeah, I think she
this is it is a kind of command, but it is the command of calling on the rules.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to force my will upon her.
I give you a choice. I either tick another tick of the clock, or you can try to force her through pure will to obey. So one would mean she accepts that there's a problem, but she will wait.
Yes, I'll take a tick on the clock.
Okay.
I can't afford the will right now.
All right, and so you move towards the ferry, and it is a pretty big thing. It's exactly almost exactly the size of ferry that the Iron Pike has. So you would assume that the battery, if it's still working, would fit perfectly, but it will be inside.
Well, I just have to hope it's in the same place that the other one is, because it's the only place I know to look for it.
And so when you climb inside and you make your way through the inside of the machine, of the ferry, let's see. Where have I put it down? In the machine room is indeed what you would identify as a car battery. A car is like the soul energy, which means that the battery will probably never run out, but it is powered by some kind of soul. So what do you do?
If that's the battery I need.
It is the battery.
Then I think it's.
Yeah, so you can like detach it from the machine around it. It is pretty heavy. Let's see.
Well, it's either I can carry it or I can't, because I have no particular means to everything special.
Yeah, we can see if you can carry it or do you have to drag it. So let's make a strength check.
Not my best attribute. I got a critical success.
Nice. So not only can you carry it, you can carry it under your arm and hurry outside.
Well, something inspires me.
Mm-hmm.
And do I see Altan there is stuck?
Yes, when you exit the ferry, you can see that the dinosaur has collapsed. That the mouth is pointing towards the outer layer of the cuboid. And let's check with Altan and Azure. How do you try to get through this 10-meter wall of jelly?
Oh. Well, Alton hasn't really thought things out this far. He has out his whip and knife. I'm sure that will help.
So you haven't.
So
Actually,
I
yeah,
have
go
a
ahead.
sawed-off shotgun.
Yes.
Can I like shoot, like blast it out of the way, you know, and just kind of keep going?
I mean, you unload your shotgun, and you see that the shrapnels, blast off the muzzle, and they just stuck in the jelly. It doesn't seem to really create any kind of room.
Yeah, I guess I do see in my pack. I do apparently. I've just been carrying a sledgehammer this entire time.
It's going to be even less. You'll just lose that.
What was that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Cause I'm gonna try to smash a way through this with my sledgehammer.
Mm-hmm. I want to say this is purely a test of your constitution. Like, are you able to smash, keep the pressure, so to speak, on the wall, or will it, just close in so that you can't? You have to be quick and steady.
Yeah. Let's see if this actually works.
And Azure, after you've seen that the shotgun doesn't work, do you try another route?
Well, if does the sledge? Do I see the sledgehammer working?
Well, I got an 11, so it's under my constitution.
Yeah, it does, but it's slow going. It's really draining, and you can see that Altan is making room, and in the same swing, the space behind him closes. So he has to keep going in at what he's doing.
All right. Well, then I guess because I still have the wounded person, right?
Yes.
I guess I'm going to try to copycat it and raise the Morning Star above my head and swing it like a helicopter.
Nice.
And hopefully,
yeah,
we'll just hand wave science and we'll see if this works.
we do hand wave science a lot here.
So it's below my constitution.
I would say the way you describe it is almost strength.
Okay. An 11. I got it.
Nice. So it's slow going, but there's constant progress. And I think that do you have the injured person then over your shoulder or under your arm or something?
Flung over my shoulder.
Yeah, and the other three dwarves, they also use their weapons to hack their way out of. Like they use the path that you cut and try to prevent from closing it in. But it's really slow going, and you are halfway towards the wall when Kazooie is closing in. So you see, Kazooie, you see your comrades in a very perilous situation.
I'm going to go up to them as I'm going to hurry up to them and force this thing back enough to allow them to struggle free.
Mm-hmm. I think it just works. So because your fiery aura just makes a path. So if you lead them out of the
I'll just cut to one side and make a tunnel.
Exactly.
It won't close up so fast that they can't follow immediately behind me.
Yes, and so after a couple of minutes of like this very claustrophobic feeling of fighting the jelly, you finally exit the outer membrane. And the three dwarfs, they sink to their knees, and the older gentleman says, "Thank you. I'm Hank. I don't know who do I have to thank."
This is Altan, and I am Kozue, and this is Azure.
Well,
the caravan. And we were looking for survivors.
Well, you found the ones that survived. We four are the last survivors of our expedition.
Who is the one who has been hurt?
Dineke is hurt. She has been attacked by this jelly.
Let's get far enough away from this that I can attend to her.
Yeah, by now I think after all the adventures, finally the purple glow of the dawn is gone, and the sun actually breaks through. You could go back to the fun fair, or you could go back to the canoes. You can obviously just move away a couple of feet from the cube as well.
It seems like that this is the remnant of the group that came in here that we were originally looking for. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then let's go back to the canoes. Those were narrow. That was a narrow enough escape from this thing. I'm not sure that. Marvelous riding, though.
So
a beast I've never seen before.
Yes, I will make a last encounter roll to see if something is happening. Nothing is happening, and you can carry Dineke, the injured dwarf.
I'm going to pause on the shore here and do what I can to get her back to consciousness. An unconscious person over the water is very dangerous. If anything happens, then she drowns.
So let's see. I think healing.
Can I spend 1 hit point?
Okay, yeah. If you want to use magic to heal her, obviously.
Yes.
So let's see. How does it work? Healed immediately after battle with a trained tasker. Yeah, I think just to stabilize her, it would be one. It would be 1 hit point.
Okay, then I'll do that. I take out a little solution and I put a few drops on my tongue. I mix it up and I spit in her mouth.
And you can see immediately that the color of her skin changes from this sickly blue to a more rosy, healthy color. And she stirs a little bit as if at least getting out of the coma, if not regaining her consciousness. And the three villagers, they greet you, the three rowers. And Swiftstep says, "So you found them. Incredible. Shall we get back?"
I think we should. I don't know that there's anything else here that needs our attention. And this was hard enough.
All right. So You do cross the lake again. And let's see if something's happening on the lake. Nothing's happening on the lake. And another, I want to say, another half a day passes. So you arrive at the Iron Pike at when the evening approaches. You can see that your auto wagons have been dangerously sunken into the sand when you come in. So you will have to find a way to get them out of it. But you are invited back to the Iron Pike. You get your old bunker back where you spent the first night. And the four dwarfs move in with you. So, what do you all do in the evening?
I mean, I'm going to rest and meditate and think of the moon. But if anybody wants to talk, they can.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember that Azure wanted to get a downer the last time. But you got it, I think.
What's that?
Yes.
I remember that Azure wanted some kind of tea that would bring her down.
Well, that was just for the what do you call it? For the vision.
Yes.
For the oracle.
Yeah.
You know.
But maybe to sleep or something, because you haven't slept for, I don't know, 48 hours.
I'd like to take Kazuo aside and just, when we have a moment, and just say, hey, I'm rethinking this whole golden ember thing. Can you help me out?
I think so. It's not a pleasant experience.
That's fine. Life is made of unpleasant experiences.
This one is worse than many.
That's fine.
All right. Tomorrow. I'm exhausted, but I'll get everything ready, and we'll do it tomorrow.
Sounds good.
So, if Altan is not doing anything, then the night passes. Well, let me see. Kuzui, can you make a saving throw?
Not very likely, but I can try.
Mm-hmm.
Evidently, I can.
Incredible. So you have horrible nightmares. You have the nightmare of being you're back inside of the cuboid and you can't move, and the like you feel trapped. It's dark, and you constantly hear chanting in your ears. But whatever it is, whatever the nightmare signifies, the night passes without you being possessed. And but when you wake up, there's the body standing next to you again.
Got this. Azure.
Yes.
Your body got loose.
My what?
The body, the soulless.
The replacement body.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oba is trying hard to get out. And I'm not sure how much longer I can hold her.
All right, let's put her in. It's fine.
You sure?
Well, What's the other option? You go down. We need you. We need you.
Well, yes. I mean, that's not an option that I'd prefer. But if there's no other vessel, then that's all there is.
Well, I mean, is there a body vessel shop around here? I think it's our only choice.
I mean, if we had kept the dinosaur, maybe.
I don't think that's the right kind of body. Um, all right. I get out some pigments, and I start to mark the body up. Paint its rub paint patterns on its face, or what it has for a face.
The dwarves are leaving the bunker when you do that.
Is this a? I'm sorry. Was this a vial or a vole, or what is it? What kind of creature is it?
It's a human. It's a rainbow lender body.
No, I mean, what are we putting into it again?
An ultra, a ghost.
Ultra. Right. Thanks. Just for notes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll paint the body for preparation to receive a spirit in good order, and I will chant over it, and I will I'm going to try to make the body to lie down in a circle.
Mm-hmm. It does.
And so I will draw the 3 rings around it for the 3 containers of the soul.
You feel that the light in the room is starting to dim.
I'm going to open the front of my robe, and I'm going to paint the front of myself with a star pattern, because I have to protect myself from this transfer.
Altan and Azure, the temperature in the room is also dropping. What do? Are you staying?
I will. If there's like any kind of witch assistance I can do to help Kazuo do this properly, I'll stay. But if it's like a one-woman show, then I'll go outside.
No, well, stay. I may lose consciousness during this, so I'll need you to stay.
Yep.
Is there anything I can help with, or do you want me to look after and I gesture over at these dwarves?
Look after the dwarves for certain. Make sure they're all right.
All right, let's get them moving, folks. Dark world-shattering magics are happening here, I think.
There's the question of Dineke, who is still unconscious. Do you carry her out as well?
Is she safe to move, do you think, Causeway?
She should be stable. Yes.
Okay, I gently pick her up with in my arms and carry her out with me.
Mm-hmm. Azure, I don't know how much control you'll have over Soba or what Soba's going to do. Soba promised not to harm us and to remain with us for a period and offer assistance for being rescued. Remind them of that in case I can't. Promises have power, you know that.
Absolutely.
The usual promise is a year and a day, but don't push your luck. I'm going to take out my knife, and I'm going to make a tiny cut right over the heart of this body, just to produce a drop of blood.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to raise up the knife with the blood drop on it, and I'm going to cut myself. And I'm going to let Soba out.
So, Azure, you see, both of you hear this unearthly whisper. It comes out from Kozue and also from the body. And then there's this white glowing light extending from I think the cut in the heart. And let's see if you can control where it lands. Is this some kind of magic you is one of your spells applying here?
No, not particularly. I mean, I'm a shaman. I deal with spirits, but I don't have.
Oh, you do have the exorcism.
I do have. I mean, I have exorcism, and this is essentially this is easier than exorcism.
Yes, it's like reverse exorcism.
Yeah, it's part of the healing tradition I have, because sometimes what ails people is spiritual and not physical.
So I think it would cost D6 life energy to perform the ritual, and you can be sure the ghost will land where it is supposed to land. If you want to reduce the cost, you have to offer either a longer duration.
No, I'm not going to try to reduce the cost. I'm going to take such time as I need to do, but I'm not going to reduce the cost.
All right. So.
And I scream, because it screams and passes out.
Well, then roll a d6. That is cost.
I did. It was all the hit points you had left.
Okay. So how does it look like when you lose all the life energy?
So I can't kill myself with a spell.
Mm-hmm.
But Kozue screams, and blood issues not only from the cut over her chest, but from her ears, her eyes, and her mouth.
Wow.
and it pools on the floor, not like arterial blood fountaining, but a fair amount. And she collapses backwards and writhes as this golden entity pulls out of her chest. And for a moment, she stops breathing.
So when a character is knocked out, when she reaches 0, character is knocked out. Yeah, I mean, at the moment you are in a coma, and Azure can obviously see that something like the exorcism worked, or the transfer of the ghost works, because you can see that the body that was lying on the floor is now in convulsion for a short amount of time, and then gets up, and it is this white glowing eyes and a smile. You kept your promise. Thanks. What do you do with it, Azure?
I get out a rag and start wiping the blood off her face.
Yeah, and Soba,
you know, and then, you know, clean the blood off her face and her ears and her, you know, eyes, nose, and mouth. And I said, you did it. And I pick her up. And is there any place I can put her to rest, like a cot or a bed or something like that?
Yeah, there was this bedroll where Dinika laid on.
All right, so I'll pick her up and carry her over to the bedroll. Is there anything like water or anything I can give her?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'll like prop her up and I'll feed her a cup full of water. You know, let her drink from it, however much she can handle.
She can't drink. She's
barely breathing.
Oh, okay. Then I'll just stay there, and
yeah, Azure, you have the feeling that you're losing her. She's like the life light that is inside her is dimming.
Huh. Okay. Shit. Let me see what I got. Somehow oracles don't really come in handy here. Is there like a first aid thing I can do? Or is that not powerful enough?
Well, do you have some kind of healing potion?
No. How about if I with gold and amber killer?
Probably.
Okay. So then I put her down and I run over to the door and I'm like, we need a medic in here. Mm-hmm. See who comes running.
Yeah, the buddy is standing there, smiling the whole time, looking at Kazooie as if waiting for something.
Can you help? Do you need to stand there and just smile? Do something to help her.
She approaches the body. I can help her.
Then do it.
We're not in a caravan, right? This is just this. This is the group that went out.
Mm-hmm. So, Azure, you can see that the body / Soba is kissing Kazooie on the mouth, and she says, "Thank you, sister." And then they turn around and leave the hut. And you can see that there's a little bit of color returning to Kazooie's face. All right. And so Kazooie now has 1 hit point and is back at, is conscious again. So Altan, you see that the naked body is leaving the bunker and is moving towards the exit. What do you do? Or do you just let them go? It's the naked replacement body now possessed by Sova.
Yeah, I guess Alton doesn't really know any of this magic nonsense. And like, I'm taking into account Azure's request last session. I'm not gonna like. I'm pretty certain that Causeway is just making up a lot of this, but I'm fine with doing whatever nonsense rituals they need to do.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
We'll all be burnt away by the hellfire of other dimensions creeping into our reality eventually anyway.
Mm-hmm. You do have some scars from the fiery embrace last time. I do remember that you were burnt.
Yeah, I think we ended up with some scars across my chest, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So I think Kazua, you are conscious again, very weak.
Azure,
Yes.
did you remind them of the promise?
Well, she said she would help you. I mean, and you're here. You would have died if she didn't help you.
Damnation! That wasn't supposed to be the promise. She promised to help the caravan.
Well, I think she did. She brought you back to life. You were dead. I was freaking out. The vagaries of your mystic contract with Ultra were not on the top of my mind. I was just relieved that you're not dead.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You didn't have to do that, but thank you.
What else were we supposed to do? You know, we're all here trying to get. We're all here with our various agendas and things that we want to do and try to get done. But we're in this when we're in this caravan, we have to work together to get through this stuff. You're as important as anybody else in this caravan. You're a witch sister. It's important for us to stick together. And I did what I thought I needed to do in order to ensure your safety.
I understand, and thank you. Well, perhaps we'll see her again.
So I think, oh God.
Perhaps I'll see her again someday. I hope.
So Kazui will definitely need at least a day, probably a day and a night of rest.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't expect that to hurt me so badly, but I'm going to have to rest. We'll do your right tomorrow.
Rest as long as you need to. It's fine.
Today and tonight should be fine.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. I appreciate your help.
Excuse me. Yes. The dwarf lady who was unconscious should recover sometime today or tomorrow. But I don't know how long they were stuck in that thing, and how weakened they are. I bet the rest of them have quite an appetite.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I'll go lie down.
So outside, Hank, the older dwarven gentleman, I have a question for Stephen. So he has some kind of cybernetic adjustment, some kind of cybernetic appendix or implant or something. What is it?
Which guy is this?
This is the guy that you've rescued, the leader of the Redlander caravan. Hank van
Okay.
Staal.
Yeah. I think that he has a cybernetic arm, but the problem is it's clearly not his first choice, since it's clearly like sized for a human, so it basically like hangs down to his foot.
Mm-hmm. And he uses that cybernetic arm to shake your hand. Thank you. I didn't get your name. I'm Hank.
Alton, pleasure to make your acquaintance.
The pleasure is
What were you folks doing exploring the innards of one of those cubes?
Well, it's a long story. If you have some time, I can share some vampire wine and tell my whole sad story. And he gets out a cask of wine.
This isn't a euphemism for blood now, is it?
No, of course not. Actually,
right.
Azure, what have you heard of vampire wine? I mean, there are stories.
Is it brewed from vampires or?
Growing up, I had a really weird uncle. He was very sallow. He didn't like daylight. I mean, he could get around and stuff, but he preferred moving at night. He was definitely, there was something wrong with him. Definitely. It was said in hushed tones that he was a drinker of vampire wine.
Mm-hmm. We all know, we also know that vampire wine is a commodity in the UVG, so it is traded freely. There might be areas where it is illegal, but it is not like generally considered a drug or something. In any case, he offers you the wine, Alton. Do you drink it?
Yeah, I take a swig.
Mm-hmm. It's very, very sweet, but it has this almost metallic aftertaste, which is not unpleasant. And he says, well...
Alton nods, pretty certain that he's been tricked into drinking blood when he specifically asked.
So we heard about the Ferry Graves, and it seems like the perfect spot to salvage. So obviously we went there. Who would have thought that the whole place is a fucking bog, like a bog, and sooner rather than later we got completely stuck. And when we woke up, we were inside of this thing, and
so you didn't see any of them and think maybe best to keep away from them?
We kept away from them, but on the other side there were like valuables inside of them, so we didn't want to park too far away. You know, you don't want to stroll every morning to get to the good stuff. In any case, yeah, and now we're here. We have a full, the auto wagon is full of precious scraps and machine parts and the other casks of vampire wine, but I don't see any way to get them back. But thank you for rescuing us. We will be in your debt.
Oh, it's good to hear. I know that there are some folks back at the caravan that were looking around, that were hoping we'd find you out here.
Ostens, who sits next to you cleaning his weapons, says, "Well, there are the other two caravans that are still missing."
You people really are adept at getting yourselves killed, aren't you?
It's what we do.